What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 4th episode of Cheap Seat Chatter. We got a little Christmas theme going on because we're 4 days before Christmas. Everybody's in the Christmas spirit. I don't know, maybe not. We're kind of old for the Christmas spirit. We're going to act like we are anyway. Yeah. We've got a cool show tonight. I think we're going to wrap up 2018. We're going to do a big recap of cool sports moments that we all came up with. Everybody's going to hit on a couple here and there, what we thought was the greatest sports moment of 2018 to wrap up the year. This will be our last show of 2018, so look forward to this coming out, and then we'll catch you guys back in 2019. We're also going to hit some Christmas stuff up because it is the Christmas season, and what better way to end the year than with a little Christmas cheer. Stay tuned.
This is Merry Christmas to you. We're all in love with Christmas, it's true. And all I want for Christmas is you. I say all I want for Christmas is you. I say all I want for Christmas. Oh, love, let's check.
We're going to wrap up 2018 on a good note. Will, kick us off. What are we going to look at first, man?
All right, so first thing we're going to hit on is the biggest sports moments across all sports for the year of 2018. And then after that, we'll kind of go into some Christmas topics that you will take care of. But
man.
We'll get started on the biggest sports moments.
There's a few of them.
There was a lot of them.
There's way too many to pick from. This is a lot of research.
This is one of those things, sorry to cut in, but when you do this and you're like, oh yeah, that happened in February, it feels like it happened 2 years ago, and you're just like, I forgot that this happened.
That was this year? Okay.
Yeah. This is just one of those things when I was looking.
I'm gonna start us off with it's kind of biased, but it's still a big moment. 2nd and 26 national championship this year, Alabama, Georgia.
Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
What made this play so, I guess, special was that it not only was it so far back and they had to get in a certain range to even try a field goal.
41-yard touchdown pass.
41, yeah. It happened and then it was over. So it was like,
in shock.
What just happened?
In shock.
Like,
man. I had no idea
I remember my
on.
reaction when it happened. I was sitting there and I just go.
I don't
it's
think
just what just happened because you're playing this long, and how long did that game go out?
Dude, it was 4 hours.
It was a 4-hour game, and then it just
time.
ended like that. Like it wasn't at the 1 yard line, the running back or whoever's trying to go up and over or whatever. It just was over on a go.
It was the rare walk-off football win.
Yeah,
you
don't
see that very often.
And
in college.
in that game,
definitely not in college.
In that game, Jalen started and did not perform very well in the first half. Coach Saban goes to a freshman.
True freshman. And to think that
a group of 3 or 4 freshmen on the field during that play,
yeah, it's wild when you think of it like
won the national championship,
mm-hmm.
and that these guys are going to be here. At the time you're thinking these guys are going to be here next year and the year after that. Probably won't be there after that.
No, you can't.
But we got these guys for 2 more years, and they just beat one of the top defenses in the nation for the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of those, feel-good moments. It obviously for us, being Alabama fans.
Well, if that's your biggest sports moment.
That's one of.
One of. Okay. Well, you could also say the one that just recently happened.
It's a mirror image.
Yeah. So it's Alabama and Georgia have played twice this year in big games, and Georgia's led for
95%
of both games.
They've led in regulation time 118 minutes and 56 seconds.
Yep.
And lost twice. Insanity, man. That's stupid.
Here's
that
the thing.
Happen.
Here's the thing that was so crazy about that game. You said, Hot Rod hit that field goal. He missed a field goal.
He choked.
In the SEC
momentum
championship.
changer.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay. And then, Jalen comes out in the first half in the championship. Tua comes out in the first half this year.
Well,
he was injured. Third quarter, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tua comes out. Jalen goes in after all that Jalen, had gone through. There had been some stuff in the summer. He was in a transfer.
And he didn't miss a beat.
He didn't miss a beat. He picked up right where
It's the best game he's probably played in Alabama uniform, honestly.
And now Jalen is a legend in Tuscaloosa.
Both guys are
like.
I mean, if we did statues, or if Alabama did statues for players,
Oh, both guys would.
They both
absolutely
have one.
Yeah.
It's a story that, like, it's a mirror image. You know, they just swap roles, same team, almost the same stage.
This is.
You don't see that.
And whoever decides to write a book about it is going to make a lot.
This
of
is
money.
going to be.
A movie too.
I said so Hollywood the rights.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those things where in 10 years from now they have a 30 for 30. What if I told you?
Jalen Hurts is not impressive. I'm just going to call it what it is. Somebody got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
26-2 is great, and he's a great runner. He cannot throw the ball down the field and make you pay.
What if I told you the leader isn't always in the spotlight?
Jalen's dad, Coach Hurts, at least raised the possibility that if Jalen's not a starting quarterback, that he might look at transfer options.
But I think you should seriously consider transferring.
What if I told you he stayed and fought when the world told him to leave?
Jalen Hurts has a problem throwing the damn football.
Don't play 4 games, red shirt, graduate in December, and transfer.
What if I told you the road to redemption hurts? ESPN Films presents a 30 for 30 film, Dual Threat, premieres this spring on ESPN.
Especially in this day and age of all things, where people are transferring left and
Left
right.
and right.
When you don't get playing time, everybody the next best thing is to leave.
And the fact
for
that
Jalen to stick around.
Yeah,
that was the biggest part of it.
And I want to say that he got into grad school at Alabama.
I think I saw that on
so
Twitter.
So he may not be leaving next year.
He may be staying.
He can.
Wow.
So I saw. I saw something on Twitter that said Alabama's quarterbacks for next year: Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, Matt Jones, Paul Tyson, Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
You talk about five. You talk about
those guys.
You talk about 5 guys, and Matt Jones maybe. You talk about 5 guys that could start anywhere else.
I mean, Mac Jones has good potential.
Yeah,
to single him out.
And to be fair, 2 of those guys we haven't seen.
We haven't seen.
You can't speak to
but those are 2 top high school
top 300
prospects.
Also, they're Alabama football royalty. They're kind of grandfathered in a little bit.
That's true too.
I mean, great grandfathered in, I guess I should say.
You know, it's an exciting time for Alabama football. Obviously, they had a fantastic class just come in.
Yeah,
one of the nation, baby.
And you know, you got when you look at this team and the depth. You know, we're losing a lot this year, but then you turn around at how we don't rebuild, we just
reload.
Yeah, that's the saying.
So it's year by year. You know, next man up, and I think that's how it was this year. And you know, last year Jalen wasn't playing very good. Tua was next man up. Tua gets hurt this year, can't go anymore. Jalen's next man up.
I think it's a good thing too that Nick Saban did get recognition finally. He won the Coach of the Year
one
award.
of the 4 or 5 coaches.
Yeah, however, there's 1,000 of them, but at least he got one because he deserves it. I mean, like I said, every year, coordinators, players. I mean,
it's just a revolving door of coaches
and young guys too. With like you said, true freshmen.
And you know, we just lost our offense coordinator to Maryland.
Yeah, it's a revolving door.
Yeah, we lost Coach Loxley. But yeah, you know, you get new offensive and defensive coordinators every year. And you're still the team to beat. Like you're number one in everything.
Yeah,
and you got new
special
faces.
Teams.
Hey, we recruited the
number one kicker.
They recruited the number one kicker
from Hoover.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, we hope
it might get scary.
I mean,
it can't be worse.
Not
than what
necessarily. You go from kicking off a tee to kicking off the ground. So.
Look, Sean, let us hold on to this for just a minute. Give us just a little bit of a happy.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest moments. Actually, 2 moments.
Yeah,
just because that's how you start the year off, and then that's how you end the year.
All in a calendar year, you beat Georgia twice.
You beat Georgia twice in the same building. Just
my goodness,
unreal, man.
Yeah.
So that's one.
It's a good way to kick it off.
Anybody?
Pick
you want to go next? You want me to? Sean?
You go ahead.
Yeah, take it.
See, what I have, it's the college basketball world. There's always a lot of stories since there's so many teams. But in the tournament this past year, we finally had a 16 seed upset a number 1 seed.
Every game that we saw was close. This has been just total destruction.
Look at this. Exclamation.
Superlatives, you can't come up with enough. Absolute. Incredible performance. Shock and awe in college basketball. UMBC makes history in Charlotte.
Just out of curiosity, do you guys know how many times the 16 seed lost to the 1 seed before they finally won?
I did look, but I also knew it beforehand. So.
Okay. I'm going to go with 30.
I'm gonna go with 262.
135.
Okay, I knew I was probably high, but
They're 1 and 135 now, and just to witness that, and it's not only they won, it was 74 to 54. It was the best defense in Virginia in the country just got destroyed, and I just remember watching it thinking, there's some people that never saw this. Like, they never got to see this happen, and there'd be people that'll never see it happen again.
I believe
I didn't even get to see it.
I believe me and him were texting at
We
the
were
time.
talking at the time, just like,
are you
surely
seeing
this isn't
right
going to
now?
happen.
Like,
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the best basketball games I've ever watched in my entire life. To see like such a team that I've never even heard of.
University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Never even heard of.
Yep.
To beat
I
a
couldn't even remember what
team.
it was.
To beat a team that I absolutely despise in Virginia. It was
Duke
it was
fan.
great. Yeah, Duke fan, Duke all the way. But it was great to see.
It's crazy. But then in the same tournament, Loyola of Chicago, an 11 seed, went to the Final Four, and that's only happened 3 other times.
What was that lady's name? Sister Jean?
Sister Jean.
Yeah.
Ride Sister Jean as long as you can. They were riding her to the championship.
She became a national. It's okay. We can get rid of that.
It's a bad wordplay.
No, we're not cutting that. We're not cutting that. We're going to keep that in.
But it's just a couple of moments, and that was just during the tournament, but those things never happen. You literally never have a 16 seed win. 11 seeds don't.
Did all of y'all see this? Y'all all watched that game and saw it happen?
Oh, yeah.
I hate you for that. I didn't get to see it, man.
Are you talking about the 16 seed?
Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
I don't know.
I just saw the notification.
I watched the second half because I don't go into a 16 versus 1 thinking, all right, I'm going to see something.
No, and you shouldn't.
I mean, there've been 135
times.
times.
134 chances. You're
Maybe
going to not watch it.
8 years that I've been watching the March Madness, I don't think I would ever really want to click on a 1 seed or a 16 seed unless it's my team.
Right.
You know?
There's no reason.
But the only reason I think I did it was because I don't like Virginia.
Right.
And I knew how dominant Virginia was that year.
They were scary good.
They
defense
were so good.
Insane.
And I wanted every team to beat Virginia. And that's the only reason I was watching it.
Well,
you go ahead.
You know, another thing is, I don't remember the exact numbers, but how many brackets were busted after that game?
It was
almost every single one of them.
There was a decimal of brackets that weren't
so
ruined
it's
after
just crazy to think it's like, you know, I would never watch unless it was my team.
Right.
I still don't even know if I would watch it, to be honest with you, because I'm expecting them to lose.
It should be. You watch the first half, you're up 20, you just turn it off.
You're like, okay, good.
Yeah.
And we haven't made the dance.
You just have to be like, I feel like you'd have to be a diehard fan to be watching a 1 seed play a 16 seed.
Yeah. Or there. I mean,
or
if
you
you're there.
Yeah, you got lucky to go. Yeah.
This is one of those moments in sports where, and that happens every now and then, where you stop what you're doing because you're like, okay, this is special.
Yeah.
I might not see this again. And like we were talking, I think we were playing PlayStation, and we're just like, okay, hold on, like I got to see what's about to happen here.
Yeah.
And just like watching the final, buzzer, and then just seeing the kids just lose their mind. Like that's got to be one of you get to say, I did that. Like 50 years from now, when it probably doesn't happen again, you're like, I did.
Well, see,
I was one of those.
Going off of that, and this is a different sport and all, but having that, I'll probably never see this. Well, maybe not. I'll never see this again, but I'm witnessing history. We went to a Braves game this year, and Sean Newcomb was 1 strike away from a no-hitter.
Oh man, don't.
And it was.
It's
just one of those.
Seeing a no-hitter.
It's one of those things where you're like, and I was telling him as we were walking out, I was like, I'll never witness anything close to a no-hitter in person like that ever again in my entire life.
Because
I may watch it on TV or something, but like being there and seeing that, it's just like the atmosphere is it's crazy. So
it's true.
And we weren't there to see that, but that's never happened before.
Right.
There have been plenty of no-hitters. That's never happened before.
Yours personally, it's one of those things where you just say, I witnessed that.
I saw it, yeah.
Speaking of what you said, the no-hitter, like we were there and we say we'll never get that close again because there's too many baseball games. The odds are obviously against you.
And most games is broken up within 2 or 3 pitches.
You don't get out of the first inning.
And I mean, I've never been more into a game. A baseball game. I didn't care who won. I'm not a Braves fan. I'm not a Dodgers fan for the sake of the day. I was 100% behind Sean Newcomb. Like, we were living and dying with
That's
every pitch from like the sixth inning on, and it was the greatest thing I've ever been a part of.
It's one of those moments like this where you're a fan of a player or a team for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours.
It was a 2-hour deal.
And after it's over, you don't care.
No.
But everybody is pulling for that person.
Yeah.
And that's just how it was with UMBC and Loyola Chicago, where you rally behind them because you're like, this.
It's
you
the
don't see this.
underdogs, yeah.
And it's, I guess,
the way they played, I did want to. I wanted them to go all the way. I knew it was a stretch.
You talking about UMBC?
Yeah. Even with me being a Duke fan, I still wanted UMBC to at least go to the national championship
the Cinderellas,
game.
you always, you want them to get us, like with Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
I listened to a basketball game, an entire basketball game on the radio in the car. I've never done that. But then when they played Michigan, I listened. It was the Final Four. They lost, but it's one of those moments I'm like, all right, I'm going to take time out of my day to listen to this instead of something that I care about. Like, it's just weird moments like that.
Well, that also has an effect on other teams because now every 16 seed from now on is going to say, if they did it, why can't we do it?
It's attainable. You can do that.
So now these 16 seeds aren't going to go up against these 1 seeds like Duke. Maybe it's probably going to be this year and go, we're not going to be able to beat them. Well, if UMBC can beat Virginia as good as Virginia's team was last year, every 16 seed is like, you know what, we can win this game.
Like I've always said, anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have a chance.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why with the talent that Duke does have this season, everybody is talking about, Duke's going to go undefeated before Gonzaga lost. And I'm just thinking, being a Duke fan, they always lose at least once every season.
It's so hard to – I mean, undefeated in college basketball,
you're
going to have a bad
That many games is just tough, man.
You have to win, around 40 to win the national championship, and it's almost impossible.
So, you can't do that.
Just anybody can beat it.
A side note, in these 1 versus 16s, why is the analogy David versus Goliath? Because doesn't David always win in that story?
I don't think he's lost.
Yeah, so why is the David Goliath analogy always
still undefeated, like Sheldon State football?
It's a random thing. I've just never understood why when you talk about an underdog and you're like, they're not favored, but David wins in that story. So I just always wondered, it's a win by knockout. It's a TKO. I just never understood.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to take the next one?
You can go. I mean, that one's probably mine, honestly.
I'm going to switch gears. We've talked about football. We've hit on college basketball. I'm probably the only true golfer out of the 4 of us, if I had to say
100%.
that.
Absolutely. The clubs are as tall as I am, so
you need to get some new clubs.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go with Tiger Woods winning the Tour Championship in East Lake, right outside of Atlanta.
No matter, the tap in for Tiger. We thought we'd never see it, and I don't believe he thought either. Tour Championship winner, Tiger Woods, a winner again, number 80.
I mean, if you follow golf as diehard as probably I do, or in general, to watch Tiger in 2014, 2015, and then 16 and 17 especially, the dude couldn't get off the couch. He was stuck on the couch. He couldn't even move. He was sedated so bad where he got pulled over. And if you guys saw the video of him on the police cam, it's not pretty.
No.
To come back from that within almost a calendar year and to win at the highest level of golf, the top 30 guys in the world, is, to me, insane. Knowing how tough it is to hit a golf ball well. And then, I saw him play in person in St. Louis in the PGA Championship in Bellerive, or at Bellerive, and Tiger Mania is a real thing, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I've always heard that from, my dad and guys that are older than me that have seen Tiger play in person, but Tiger has this massive effect on golf that is not realized until you see him at his best, and it is insane. You can't even see him from the same hole. You've got to watch him, from 3 holes away. But for him to get back into the winner's circle within a year of being laid up on the couch in severe pain and not even be able to walk is, to me, one of the greatest achievements and one of the best feel-good comeback stories of 2018 by far. Maybe in sports, honestly.
I feel like if you know sports, maybe not golf, because a lot of us don't follow golf.
Yes, I'm probably in the minority in that one.
You know who Tiger Woods is. Mm-hmm. You know what Tiger Woods has been through. all this, I won't say there's a you have to respect Tiger Woods because you don't have to.
I feel like a lot of people don't respect Tiger Woods now.
Yeah, but
strictly
you have this. You know, him coming back, you want him to be able to succeed, and you want him to be able to have this feel good story. So I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'm with Jay. Like when all of this stuff happened, it turned a lot of people off to Tiger. But if you're talking about just an athlete overcoming something that athletes go through, then yeah, it's an amazing story. Personal stuff aside.
Yeah, like Ben said, personal stuff aside, is Tiger Woods a great person? No. I would find it hard pressed to find someone that said yes. Are we great people? Probably not. I mean, not on average. You know, on average, probably not. But from a strictly sports,
it's like impressive
mindset. He is one of the greatest golfers, if not the greatest golfer to ever play. And I don't know, man. Like, I watched every shot he hit in the Tour Championship, and like, there's pictures of me on my phone where I'm sitting there at the TV, like he's on the 17th hole, and I'm like staring at it as intently as I've ever watched golf. I'm like, he's a childhood idol, man. He's like your Kobe Bryant or you know, whoever, Michael Jordan, if you want to go that route. And it's like to see him, I was like, just win one more time. Win one more time when I'm old enough to realize how great you really are. And let me appreciate it one more time before you probably ride off and retire and you can't play anymore. Yeah. At the highest level. And he took golf to another level. Yeah. He took golf because it was a bunch of old, white, fat dudes.
It was looking for a new face.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bunch of old white dudes that all crusty and nobody cared to watch golf.
The Nicholas Palmer generation was over, and there was a vacuum they needed to fill.
I think Fred Couples and like Tom Watson and those guys, but they look like me. They're not fun to watch. And you got Tiger, who's
you feel that
massive and jacked and can hit a golf ball farther than anybody. And he's like, he made golf an athlete's sport to me.
He did.
He like Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, those guys. He paved the way for, and golf looked athletic.
He and Phil Mickelson saved golf, I think. Yeah, and it shows by the comp. What was it? The showdown, whatever they just played.
Match.
The match. It showed because there was a generation of like multiple generations of golf fans that watched two guys play one-on-one golf. Like
and it was a boring broadcast. That was a bad broadcast. But
they earned that because
because they are two of the greatest golfers ever played. So that's Tiger winning again. I'm probably going on a soapbox.
It's a good story.
But that is to me one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Any other big stories?
I mean, we have some we can talk about.
We've got you got to touch on the Las Vegas Golden
Knights. So hockey wise, Davey knows more than we do. Sean and myself are currently trying to educate ourselves with hockey.
It's a fun sport, man.
I've tried to get into hockey and I've tried to watch games and I was just like, I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know what's happening. I don't know where the puck is. But yeah, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. First season that they're a team, they're made up of expansion players, so players that
leftovers.
Yeah, pretty much leftovers.
They got the draft and from every other team.
Yeah. So not only did they have to do that, they had to draft these leftover players from other teams. They made the Stanley Cup Finals as the 1 seed, correct?
The 3 seed.
3 seed. Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
You're good.
But yeah, to be able to play all these teams that have been, they have the same players every single year, to bring this group of guys together and to make it that far. They didn't win it, which would have been an even bigger story.
Man, it's one.
Just to be there.
It would have been insane.
Yeah, I think even for me at that time, I was like, I don't watch hockey, I don't keep up with it, but I want Las Vegas to win because
you're checking the scores every night to see if they won.
You're watching ESPN late at night to see kind of what happened.
For me, once the playoffs started, I started to keep tabs on them because it's a special story.
Yeah.
You have expansion teams that have been around for 30 years who still haven't won anything.
They're still
in all the American
pretty
sports.
Mediocre most years.
And they catch lightning in a bottle. You get a bunch of hungry guys who were passed on when they can protect X amount of players, and you're not one of them.
Yeah.
Whenever you play that team again, you want to just beat them as bad as you can, and that was every single guy on the team. It was a locker room full of people that wanted to win more than everybody else wanted to win.
The Las Vegas team will have a roster that will be competitive more quickly than any prior expansions.
The Vegas Golden Knights!
The Vegas Golden Knights select goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury.
It's not easy to build a team with from scratch. probably not the best team around, but we're going to work hard every night to have a chance and to keep improving.
We all are just meeting each other for the first time. We've done a good job to come together pretty quick, and everyone's looking forward to a big year.
Like all of you, I'm proud to call Las Vegas home. Know that we'll do everything we can to help you and our city heal. We are Vegas strong.
You're going to notice that the boards here this evening have no sponsorships, just the words Vegas strong.
The Vegas Golden Knights have made NHL history, the first expansion club ever to get to a 3-0 start.
I didn't expect us to start like that, and it was a complete reverse what I thought. Obviously, we were happy with the way it started.
Golden Knights over the last 3.5 weeks are really trying to bring some smiles to this shaken city, and they're 8-1 now over 9 games.
Their 34th win in their inaugural season. They do it in 50 games.
North Pacific Division champions!
Do wrap up the greatest
First season for any expansion team in NHL history.
They're just beginning.
And their historic first ever playoff series victory is a clean sweep.
They've got the golden ticket. They're moving on to the Western Conference Final.
Welcome to impossible. The Knights are in the Stanley Cup Final.
An expansion team will play for the Stanley Cup in their inaugural season.
It was every sports year is full of good stories. This one had a lot of just weird things that don't happen. The 1 seed losing, the 13th Triple Crown winner in horse racing out of 143 years. Like, you don't get to see that very often.
That's a once in a lifetime thing too.
I think we've seen 2 or 3 in our lifetime, but it's just, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of stuff this year that happened that you don't expect to see in 2019. You can never count on an expansion team making a championship run.
Yeah. I would call it the year of the comeback if I had to. You the Knights, it's the expansion team. You've got the Triple Crown in horse racing, which doesn't happen.
The 2 of Jalen Hurts.
Tiger Woods, the Case Keenum and the Vikings story, almost making the Super Bowl. Yeah. With the Indianapolis Miracle.
Jalen Hurts coming back.
Jalen, Tua, then Jalen.
Yeah.
And this is the year of the comeback. 2018, what a great year.
This is the year that the David and Goliath analogy actually kind of fits.
It fits. Absolutely. That's why sports brings you together, man.
Yeah.
You bond over something like this. You always pull for just the craziness and you go
That's what you want to see. You get tired of all chalk all the time, You got to see something. Somebody's got to shake it up. So,
anything else?
I think we can get into the
move into
Christmas.
Yeah, so
Christmas special.
We're coming to Christmas, guys.
Take a break from sports for a little while.
Yeah, we've talked about sports. You guys don't want to see. I mean, look, that's why we're here. We love sports. We debate them. But there's more things to talk about than that. So we're gonna get into Christmas. 4 days away, probably 3 at this time.
By the time this comes out, it doesn't.
So maybe Christmas time.
It'll probably already.
Or Christmas was yesterday or the day.
Yeah, we don't know.
2 days ago.
Okay, so I did a little research. And we're going to test you guys on your Christmas knowledge. Oh, no. I looked up the most popular Christmas movie by state. There's going to be a good debate coming later because I can see Ben's mind already working where we're going with this.
I'm just trying to figure this one out right now.
Okay, so I looked it up. You had Home Alone was a lot of them, so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some previews.
So it's not Home Alone.
So it's not Home Alone. It wasn't Die Hard.
Thank goodness.
You didn't have a Christmas Story in this list.
It wasn't on there?
No, not for the state of Alabama.
That was one.
So I'm gonna ask you guys and give me your best chances. Everybody has one guess. You only get one shot. Most popular Christmas movie in the state of Alabama by survey. Go.
I'm not going.
Can I? Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's what you're going with?
That's the only thing.
Did he get it right in the first try?
That's a good guess. I'm pretty sure Tennessee had Rudolph, so you were really close.
I have no idea, so I'm gonna give a silly answer.
Is it? It's a Wonderful Time. Is that the movie?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Wonderful Life. Yeah.
You're still wrong.
I'm still wrong. All right.
Is it Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. It's a good choice.
Close, but no. Christmas Vacation.
See, that's a classic.
To me, it kind of makes sense because I always thought the Griswolds were rednecks in Chicago.
It's a weird, it's a weird family to live in that city.
Yeah. They were scared of a squirrel.
It's a great movie. I can't say my favorite quotes from the movie because of where we're at. But
yeah. I need to get into that one.
That doesn't surprise me.
Does it have to involve like tap dancing and certain things of that nature?
It's they're asking Randy Quaid what he's doing, and a certain part of his mobile home was full.
He got rid of that fullness though. He dumped that
And when the snooty like hipster couple next door asked Clark Griswold what he's going to do with the tree, that's also a great line. The bend over and I'll show you.
When I watched that as a kid, I had no idea what he meant.
I wasn't talking to you.
And I'm like, what is he? What? And now I'm like,
the line here.
Nah, that's okay. That's okay.
I
don't care.
Ooh, I see what he meant. And
that whole movie
is where we are, but
the Randy Quaid.
The blue leisure suit by itself.
There was a Cousin Eddie. Just that character. It's just he's probably the best of those movies, but in the Christmas Vacation he was strong. He was really, really strong.
Ben, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yay or nay?
No. And first of all, it's not a Christmas movie. And even if it was, it's not number 5.
Not even close.
It's over Christmas Vacation. Elf. Rudolph, Frosty the Snowman, Elf, Santa Claus is coming to town. Richie Rich's Christmas Wish.
I would throw Home Alone in that mix.
I mean, Home Alone's more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard.
Snow on the ground.
I mean, I don't understand this Die Hard Christmas movie thing. It doesn't make sense. Like one of y'all said earlier, you can watch Die Hard any month of the year.
July 4th?
You can watch it
all year long.
You can watch it whenever. You can watch Home Alone.
The movie happens
pretty much whenever
during Christmas time.
It's an office Christmas party, but it's like an action movie about some terrorists taking over this company, and then Officer John McClane's got to save his wife, and then everybody else too. But that has nothing to do with Christmas.
So we had 12 minutes, probably max, of Christmas-themed stuff, and then the rest is
There's some Christmas decorations at the office party before Hans Gruber and his men come in, and then you're just like, you're in elevator shafts, air ducts, like scaling the side of a skyscraper. Like, it's not Christmas.
The fact that is in the top 5
Exactly.
Out of 40 movies.
It's not even 40 movies.
Wow. I don't think it's a Christmas movie, but if it is, it's way down the list.
It's top 20?
No.
Top 30.
It'd be 40 because it's barely a Christmas movie.
This is their idea of Christmas. I gotta be there for New Year's.
Okay, so that wraps up our 4th episode of Cheap Seat Chatter. We've done a good job so far, guys. That was it for the year. We'll come back to you in 2019. We gave a good recap of 2018. Best sports moments according to us. If you guys have a different opinion, let us know on Twitter or Instagram. We're more than happy to hear some feedback. We gave a little Christmas aspect to this one because it's the season, guys. Like I said, we'll be back in 2019. Be on the lookout for our 3rd and 4th videos coming to YouTube at Cheap Seat Chatter. Check us out on Twitter. We're going to have some poll questions based on tonight's discussion at Cheap Seat Chats. And on Instagram, probably going to have some little snippets of the past couple shows to get you guys some teasers about what's coming up in our next uploads at Cheap Seat Chats _at the end. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We appreciate it. See you guys in 2019. Peace.
Merry Christmas to you. We're all in love with Christmas. It's true. And all I want for Christmas is you. I say all I want for Christmas is you. I say all I want for Christmas. Hold up, let's check my